Hi, my name is Rehan, and somebody asked me a question, which is a very commonly asked question to me, that why is calling to certain countries expensive, and why is calling to certain countries not so expensive, and why can't we use VoIP in certain countries? I'll answer the first one first. The rate of which the call you see, for example, a call rate to Dubai is approximately 15 cents in wholesale and 30 cents in retail from anywhere in the world, not anywhere, but the US mostly. Similarly, a call to the US normally would be a penny to 2 penny or 2 cents a minute from most of the telcos around the world. Why is there such a huge difference? And then why is there a call rate of $8 a minute to Iridium or another cell phone, which might be a satellite phone? So the answer to the call rate of 30 cents or a dollar a minute to African and mostly African and Middle Eastern countries is because those countries where you are calling at higher rates have a monopoly. And even though they might say that they don't have a monopoly, they do actually have a sort of monopoly where the market is not yet open, where the telco decide what would be the rate to terminate the call on the landline or the PSTN line. In these countries, the government decides what would be the charge to land the call in their country. And they might tax that rate and they might charge a hefty amount to make some money out of it. The governments normally forget that communication is now the means of business. People don't really travel anymore for business, but they do most of their phone work over the phone and over email. And if you have a high amount of rate to call that particular country, you're actually depriving your nation with ease of communication, and you are actually destroying the macroeconomy of that particular country. However, that's a different debate altogether. But the basic reason why the rate is high to a particular country is because the government of that country has decided that that would be the rate to terminate the call to that country. In the US, in the UK, in France, most of the landlines have already been neutralized, and the call rate is under a penny, under a cent in wholesale to call that country. So that's why you would see most of the countries that the calling rate to the US is the cheapest, Canada is also the cheapest, UK is also very low. So these are the very key countries where you can actually call very cheaply. But now there are around 40 countries in the world where the wholesale rate is around 1 cent to 1.5 cents a minute in wholesale. So the retail rates also become around 1.5 cents to 3 cents a minute, so which is a very low rate to call those countries. The rest of the 180 nations in the world have decided that they don't want to be in that 2 cents or 1.5 cent bracket. They want to make money on the incoming calls to that country. Now VoIP being a liberator for the world sort of allows the user sitting in that country to receive and to make a call at a much lower rate than decided by the government. So this is a disruptive technology. So to fight that, some governments try to block the voice from that user to the gateway of that company, say in the US. So now, for example, Skype is blocked in Dubai, so you can't really make a call using Skype from Dubai to anywhere in the world, or even Skype to Skype call. You can't really make a call using Skype in Dubai. Certain other countries have also tried to do the same thing and are trying to block programs like Skype and protocols like SIP and H323, which are used in the VoIP industry normally by companies for the users to not be able to make calls. So these are the reasons why the rates is high. Whereas the call rate for $8 a minute for Iridium and Global Star is basically because the call is actually going through a satellite phone, and the cost is high to deliver to those phones. That's why they charge you a hefty amount of money to deliver that call. But in most of the cases, it's basically because of the governments of those countries have chosen to do so. So I personally would encourage you as the user to write to your government, write to your parliament that they should not make a high rate of calls to your country, so that your country can also be in those countries where the call rate is extremely low and people are free to communicate between a point A to point B. Thank you.